A Manatee County gymnastics coach is being accused of inappropriate contact with child athletes. Plus, President Trump coming to Tampa tomorrow, where he's holding a rally, and how you can get tickets. And new roundabouts coming to some busy intersections in Bradenton, how they could help ease traffic. Your Suncoast News starts now.
You're watching ABC7 News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Jacqueline Matter. Thanks for joining us. Topping our news tonight, more than a dozen parents were looking to get some answers tonight regarding a gymnastics coach who resigned last week. This follows allegations of inappropriate behavior with at least one of the athletes. ABC7's Rick Adams has more from outside that gymnastics facility in Bradenton.
Well, unfortunately, we don't know too much right at the moment because South Florida Gymnastics here in Bradenton is remaining very quiet about all this. They did have a special meeting here with parents tonight to discuss the situation. What we do know is that gymnastics coach has resigned after he was investigated for having inappropriate contact with some of the child athletes. The nature of that contact is unknown at this time. We're being told the coach resigned instead of being suspended after breaking a policy that bans coaches from being friends with the athletes on social media. All communication with the athletes must include parents. The meeting tonight did give parents a chance to address their concerns. We're not disclosing the name of the coach because he has yet to be charged. One of the parents did meet with the Manatee County Sheriff's Office where they were investigating inappropriate text messages. And as soon as we receive any more information on this, we'll certainly pass it along to you. Reporting from Bradenton, I'm Rick Adams, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Rick, thank you. President Donald Trump is coming to West Florida tomorrow to discuss technical education and rally support for Republican candidates. It's unclear when Air Force One will arrive in Tampa, but President Trump is set to head straight to Tampa Bay Technical High School, where he will host a roundtable discussion on career and technical education. Then he will host a rally at the Florida State Fairgrounds, where he's expected to show support for gubernatorial candidate Ron DeSantis and Governor Rick Scott for U.S. Senate.
Whenever you go to see Donald Trump at any rally, there's something you're going to remember the rest of your life. He never ceases to surprise me. He's a very brilliant man, and I'm looking forward to hearing more from him tomorrow evening.
Now here's what you need to know if you plan on attending tomorrow. That event will be held at the Florida State Fairgrounds. The doors open at 4 p.m. and the event will start at 7 p.m. Tickets are required, but you're only able to register for up to 2 per phone number used. Now we have the link to register on our website, mysuncoast.com. Meanwhile, President Trump's rally comes about a month before Florida's August 28th primary elections. If you want to vote, you have until midnight tonight to register. If you're new to the state or want to change your party preference, you can now sign up or change your information online. Election Supervisor Ron Turner says that will extend your deadline about 7 additional hours later today.
Voters can consider vote by mail right now. We're certainly doing a lot of vote by mail. We've mailed more than 60,000 ballots in the primary, so that's an easy, convenient way for voters to vote in any election. Any voter can do it. Just contact the elections office for your vote by mail ballot or go to our website at sarasotavotes.com.
Early voting starts on Saturday, August 18th and ends a week later. Primary day is Tuesday, August 28th. Well, let's check in on our first alert weather forecast with meteorologist Josh Stone. And Josh, a wet day here on the Sun Coast, not so sunny.
Yes, indeed, Jacqueline, exactly. And look at this, no clouds to talk of right now. It's 75 degrees, and we actually are seeing some stars out there in some locations, but most of us still have clouds over us streaming up from the south and the southeast. We do have some moderate to light rainfall around the Sun Coast at this time here in Charlotte County and Manatee County, also Sarasota, a little bit in Highlands or actually Hardee and DeSoto County, but some of these totals were over 3 inches of rainfall today. So it was kind of a soggy Monday afternoon for us and into the early evening hours. Looks like things are winding down. Other than a stray shower or thunderstorm that could develop over the Gulf, I don't think that's going to migrate onshore, but we still could get maybe, like I said, a stray situation there. But as we go through the overnight, expect partly cloudy to mostly cloudy skies. And then tomorrow looks to be another wet day in some spots. And we'll break that down for you in the main weathercast in a few minutes from now. Back to you, Jacqueline.
All right, thank you, Josh. We'll talk to you soon. Senator Bill Nelson is calling for a federal investigation into the company behind SunPass system errors. Nelson and Senator Gary Peters of Michigan on Monday requested that the Federal Trade Commission investigate Conduent state and local solutions. State transportation officials in Florida blame that company for an upgrade to the system that resulted in delayed and inaccurate charges. Florida officials recently suspended paying the company until those problems are resolved. The request from the senators say the company has burdened consumers with too many toll charges. Florida's Legislative Black Caucus intends to file legislation to readdress the state's Stand Your Ground law. This comes after the shooting death of Marquise McLaughlin in the parking lot of a Clearwater convenience store. The Black Caucus says the legislation will aim to address the confusion in the law that resulted in the Pinellas County Sheriff declining to charge Michael Draka in last week's shooting. Tallahassee Mayor Andrew Gillum, a Democrat running for governor, calling on Governor Rick Scott to declare a state of emergency over that law.
We know that Stand Your Ground as it exists in this state has created the opportunity for people to take into their own hands a decision to be judge, jury, and executioner.
Democratic legislators must first get 20 members of the legislature to support that request. Then the more challenging part, getting 3/5 support in both the Republican-dominated House and Senate. Well, the superintendent of Sarasota County Schools calling for a criminal investigation against the principal of a Manatee County school. According to an official statement from the school board, the principal in question is Eddie Hunley of Lincoln Memorial Academy. The school board wants to know why he gave a positive recommendation for Quentin Peterson, a teacher who's currently under investigation for inappropriate behavior with students. Peterson was arrested this spring on possession of child pornography charges. In response, the board of directors of Lincoln Memorial say they stand behind their principal, saying in part that Mr. Hunley, quote, followed procedural standards and the charges against him are ludicrous. Well, the man accused of killing a Fort Myers police officer will not be released from jail anytime soon. Wisner Desmerit was denied bond today during his first court appearance, and he will stay at the Lee County Jail. Authorities are pursuing 9 charges against him, and we just learned today that a grand jury will be convened to consider this case. Police say Desmerit shot Officer Adam Jobbers Miller at a Fort Myers gas station on July 21st. After fighting for his life for more than a week, Officer Jobbers Miller passed away on Saturday. Meanwhile, family, friends, and fellow officers are remembering that fallen police officer. Fellow officers, EMTs, and those who serve the community came together yesterday to escort Officer Adam Jobbers Miller to a Fort Myers funeral home. And it's just not law enforcement rallying around this fallen officer. Today, total strangers showing up, showing their support in unique ways, like making these plaques.
I stayed up until midnight designing and doing the work on the laser because it's just, you know, it's so close to home.
The 29-year-old worked for the Fort Myers Police Department for nearly 3 years. A new traffic light is up along State Road 64 in Manatee County. It went in last week at Lorraine Road, but it won't be there for very long. The state will build 3 roundabouts along 64, one at Lorraine Road, one at Rye Road, and another at Grayhawk Boulevard. They say it's the safer alternative, but the people who work near the Rye Road intersection say they're happy with the signal they have now.
It used to be a point of stress for me leaving every night to the point that I would actually take a left out of here and go to avoid that intersection just because it was quicker to drive through the neighborhoods back here than, you know, trying to make a left off of Rye onto 64.
FDOT says construction on the Rye Road roundabout is expected to begin within the next few months. The roundabouts at Grayhawk Boulevard and Lorraine Road are set for sometime next year. New details tonight of a deadly crash on I-75 that backed up traffic for more than 7 hours today. That accident happened around 5 o'clock this morning between the Kings Highway and Toledo Blade Boulevard exits. It involved 4 vehicles, a pickup truck, 2 SUVs, and a car. 63-year-old Thomas Mikens of Port Charlotte was killed in that accident. 1 other person was taken to the hospital. 2 others had minor injuries. Well, stay with us. Meteorologist Josh Stone will be back with your first alert forecast for the week ahead. Plus, the school supplies that will not be tax-free this weekend. And new images of the wildfires burning out west and how Floridians are helping out.
Here's something we bet you didn't know. Nearly half of all cancers can be prevented. That's right, half. Nearly 50%, mostly by making small everyday changes in your diet and controlling your weight, walking more, eating less, and eating foods that help you and your family to seriously reduce the risk of cancer. And of course, by not smoking. Visit the Cancer Prevention Together We Can website and get a free 30-day planner filled with tips, recipes, stats, and more about protecting your family. Go to prevent50.org.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
My California Closets experience has been wonderful. My mother's a huge inspiration. Before she passed away, she would say, you should do something special for yourself. First time I saw my closet, I immediately thought, this is the best thing I've ever done for myself. I call it my Tiffany style closet. I mean, I can shop in my own closet every day. I love that. My name is Cynthia, and this is my California Closets story.
Army National Guard soldiers serve to give back to their country and their community. Their part-time commitment qualifies them for benefits such as health and life insurance, education benefits, and retirement and VA home loan benefits. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more.
ABC7's Josh Stone in for Bob Harrigan tonight. And Josh, I feel like today was one of those Mondays where you just want to stay inside, away from all the rain, and just kind of not have a case of the Mondays.
Like a manic Monday or an extension from Sunday, you know, curl up on the couch with a nice book or watch ABC7, you know, from your couch. Yeah, that's kind of what we dealt with today. We had the southeasterly winds kind of bringing in all this moisture from, well, the tropics pretty much, and just inundated us with heavy rain around the area. Let's check out what's happening for temperatures right now in the mid to upper 70s around the Sun Coast. So it's actually feeling quite comfortable and not as sticky and humid like we felt earlier today. Now, as far as the radar goes, yep, it's still lit up with some greens, but not a lot of orange and reds on it, which is good news. We had those heavier showers earlier today in the afternoon and early evening hours. Looks like things are winding down now in Manatee County, Sarasota County, out in Hardee, DeSoto, and also Charlotte County. So let's take a radar tour right now. Just some light to moderate rainfall. Not much rain happening in downtown Sarasota at this time, and out here in Charlotte County around Punta Gorda, looks like you're pretty quiet as well. Our high today topped out at 87. The average is around 90 degrees this time of the year, but we didn't hit anywhere near the record that was hit back in 1998 at 96 degrees. So today officially at the airport we reported 0.10 inches of rainfall. How about that? Well, looking at the yearly average, we are down 2 inches of rain, so we need to make that up. But you know, you notice this number, and that doesn't really tell the story of what happened around the Suncoast today. This tells the story. We had some areas that picked up over 3 inches of rain, especially north of Arcadia and north of Northport here. Some areas picked up around 2 inches of rainfall. So it just depends where that rain gauge is set up. Doesn't really tell the whole story in one rain gauge. You know, the official rain gauge at the Sarasota-Brainerd International Airport. Other rain gauges obviously picked up a lot more. In fact, the National Weather Service out of Ruskin, Florida, issued a small stream flood advisory in southeastern Manatee County and eastern Sarasota County, and then they issued a flood warning for the Manatee River near Myakka Head. So we had a lot of rain in a very short amount of time. The soil was saturated, couldn't contain that rain coming down, spilled out, and now we have some issues with some of the rivers and streams. Muggy forecast ahead of us, afternoon storms again for tomorrow, and looks like some dry air will make its way into the Suncoast as we get into the weekend, giving us partly cloudy to mostly sunny skies. As far as our futurecast goes, looks like we're going to have quiet conditions throughout the overnight. The tropics are quiet as well, so that's good news. We like to talk about quiet tropical conditions during the hurricane season. If you're taking your boat out tomorrow, looking like a pretty good forecast. Seas only 2 feet just offshore, but remember, late morning, early afternoon, another round of showers and storms look to develop. So 75 would be the overnight low. We've already pretty much achieved that. Actually, it's 74 degrees currently, so basically around the mid-70s. 88 for our high tomorrow. Again, mostly cloudy skies, and then more showers and storms develop. So a few days of this as we're around the 50 to 60% range of shower activity. And as we get into the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies. I think we can handle that. Temperatures still around average, upper 80s, lower 90s. Back to you, Jacqueline.
All right, thank you so much, Josh. Well, we are exactly 2 weeks away from the first day of school, if you can believe it, and buying school supplies seems to get more expensive every year. But one local business is trying to ease the stress for a few families in our community. It all started with a Facebook post offering to help with some school supplies for one family, but after seeing how many people needed the help, Jessica Myers decided to help a few more. She got the help of her boss, John Camore. They both work for Johnny Bug's Pest Control in Northport and are sponsoring 5 families who need help this school year. They're using their own money to purchase dozens of notebooks, pens, pencils, everything on the list of 5 elementary to high school students in Northport.
Well, it's really great to be able to have the means to take care of these kids. I know that a lot of these kids are not taken care of and not getting what they need on a regular basis. And we're just so blessed to be able to reach out and support more families in the community as well.
They will be surprising these kids closer to the start of school with their new school supplies. Meanwhile, you can get your back-to-school shopping done this weekend at a cheaper rate, but don't expect discounts on electronics. This will be the second time in 6 years that electronics will not count as tax-free school supplies this tax-free weekend. But experts also say that won't stop people from heading to the stores.
We still expect it to be big. I think that it doesn't get old with consumers, I think, because everyone needs to go back and buy supplies for their children and buy clothes for their children. So this is going to continue to be popular.
Now, tech supplies were originally included in the budget proposal this year, but because of the mass shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, the tax cut was scaled back and budget priorities were shifted. The holiday tax is projected to save shoppers more than $30 million. A new cancer center in Lakewood Ranch is officially under construction. Crews breaking ground on that building site near State Road 70 today. The new center will allow cancer patients to get all sorts of treatments and services, including chemo, doctor visits, and lab work. It is scheduled to open next summer. Well, you've probably seen those professional shoppers at your grocery store. For one Central Florida man, the move from teaching to shopping not only changed his life, but his bank account. He's now making 6 figures. Ed Hennessy's passion was teaching, but he never earned more than $50,000 during his career. So he became a shopper for Shipt, delivering groceries. Now he's making double his teaching salary, but he does say he still misses being in the classroom.
And I don't think there is a way to turn it around unless you're going to offer more money.
He says his life is different now, working when he wants, mostly 50 to 60-hour weeks. But instead of grading tests and making lesson plans at home, he's glued to his phone, which he says he does not mind. Florida is sending more firefighters to help battle raging wildfires in California. This weekend, the Florida Forest Service deployed a 12-member team from North Florida to bring 5 brush trucks to the effort. The team is expected to arrive in California on Wednesday. The state sent 20 hand crew firefighters last week to help suppress a fire in the Sierra National Forest that is estimated to take more than 2 weeks to fully contain. And the death toll is rising as firefighters there are battling multiple wildfires out west. The largest named fire, the Carr Fire, has claimed 100,000 acres. ABC's Danya Backus shows us new video of that damage.
New images of the tornado of fire from the air that is leveling homes and exhausting thousands of firefighters. Across the West, firefighters are up against 60 wildfires in 13 states. 9 of those fires are in California. The largest, the Carr Fire, scorching nearly 100,000 acres so far.
Yeah, all the pictures, everything. Let's go.
Some of the nearly 40,000 who evacuated are now returning home to utter devastation. Among them, Redding Police Chief Roger Moore, his home of 19 years gone.
Your kids lived their entire lives in this house.
That part's tough. Haven't really let that digest in yet.
Officials say at least 6 people have died and many fear the death toll will rise. 70-year-old Melody Bledsoe and 2 of her great-grandchildren, 5-year-old James and 4-year-old Emily, among that number. Their grandfather receiving a heartbreaking phone call.
Talking to my little grandson on the phone, he's saying, "Grandpa, please, you got to come and help us. The fire's at the back door." I said, I'm right by you, honey. Just hold on. Grandpa's coming.
4 firefighters have now been killed in the line of duty. The latest, 33-year-old Captain Brian Hughes, who was fighting the Ferguson fire near Yosemite National Park when he was killed by a falling tree. Some of the evacuation orders for the Carr Fire have been lifted, and officials say that fire is now pushing away from populated areas. These fires are a sobering reminder that we haven't reached peak fire season. Danya Backus, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Sports is next, but first, here's what's coming up on Jimmy Kimmel.
Kimmel's New tonight with reality queen Kim Kardashian West.
Who'd ever imagine we'd have had this conversation?
Haley Atwell tells all.
I'm now revealing my shame.
Music from Train, and find out why.
Oh, I'm the most famous guy in Florida.
Emmy-nominated Kimmel, new tonight on ABC.
Excuse me a minute. Hi, Dad. No, don't try to get up.
Hi, I'm Julie, a right-at-home caregiver. And if I'd been caring for Tom's dad, I would have noticed some dizziness that could lead to balance issues. That's because I'm trained to report any changes in behavior, no matter how small. So Tom could have peace of mind.
We'll be right there. We have to go.
Hey, Tom, you should try Right at Home. They're great for us.
The right care, right at home.
It's been about a month, and I can honestly say I've seen the change in me. I went from being a depressed girl who didn't want help to this happy, caring girl who loves helping other people. I just really hope that people that went through what I went through get the help that they need, because their story is important and they are loved. Thank you so much for everything.
Pets bring so much joy to our lives. They're loyal, they're protective, and smart. Yet as smart as our pets might be, they can't advocate for themselves, especially in the event of a natural disaster. During Hurricane Harvey, many families were separated from their pets. That's why it's important your pet is part of your family's disaster preparedness plan. Talk to your veterinarian and visit banfieldfoundation.org/disaster. Don't save it for a rainy day.
According to Golf Digest, 2 of the nation's top golf resorts are on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, the Auburn Opelika Marriott at Grand National, and the Renaissance Ross Bridge Golf Resort and Spa in Birmingham. Plus, the Marriott at Grand National was recognized as Hotel of the Year by Marriott International. Experience luxury and world-class golf Southern style. Visit rtjgolf/resorts or call 800-949-4444 to book your trip to the trail.
When it comes to drinking, what do you think moderation is? The U.S. Dietary Guidelines define moderation as up to 1 drink a day for women and up to 2 drinks a day for men. So what's a drink? The guidelines say a drink equals 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, or a cocktail with 1.5 ounces of distilled spirits. Each contains the same amount of alcohol. Like to learn more? Visit drinkinmoderation.org.
A promise was made, a promise that hit the beaches of Normandy, a vow that captured Iwo Jima, a contract that weathered Tet, a pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq, an IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. DAV fights to keep that promise, so all veterans and their families get the benefits and support they earned. For help, visit DAV.org.
Now, sports.
A former Manatee High athlete is headed to Auburn to play football. Cord Sandberg recently announced that he was quitting baseball to pursue a different sport. He tweeted tonight that he's now going to be a quarterback for the Tigers this fall. Sandberg spent his last 6 years as a minor league baseball player for the Philadelphia Phillies. Well, USF fans could be waiting longer than they thought for a new stadium on campus, all thanks to a consulting firm that is suggesting that they wait. According to our media partners in Tampa, Convention Sports and Leisure International is suggesting that the Bulls stay at Raymond James Stadium until they can raise enough money to pay for that stadium that they want and to focus on their $40 million football center.
The feedback also says if we're going to do it, we're going to do it right. And that's going to take more steps in the process. For me, we have to first better fund our athletic budgets as a whole, so we got to create revenue source for that. We have to build the U.S. Football Center, and then we can look at this as an aspirational goal.
Now, the football stadium the athletic department wants to build will cost upwards of $200,000. NBA All-Star LeBron James opening a school for at-risk kids in his hometown of Akron, Ohio today. Here's a look inside. Motivational messages cover the walls. Backpacks and supplies were laid out on the tables for the incoming students, and it will serve 240 third and fourth graders, with the goal of housing nearly 1,000 students from 1st through 8th grades by 2022. The aim is to get kids to finish school. Meanwhile, family members and caregivers can take GED classes and get supplies from a daily food pantry stocked by a food bank. And in a press conference today, LeBron James addressing his leaving Cleveland for the first time in front of the press. Take a listen.
It was more than I think we all could imagine. It was my goal. My goal was to come back and to win a championship because I felt like I had something, a book left unturned. But to say that I would have knew we would have went to 4 straight finals with all the turnaround that we had, I couldn't imagine it.
Meanwhile, in baseball tonight, 2 division leaders meet in Boston. The Philadelphia Phillies going head-to-head with the Boston Red Sox. The Red Sox taking the win tonight by 1 run. That's a look at sports. We'll have tonight's winning lotto number straight ahead.
There was this big bruise on my friend's face. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it. My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator, there was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him.
It's tough to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. Elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs. Stop the crimes.
All right, crew, let's get started. Hurry.
Don't ignore the law. You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 days before any digging project so you can avoid hitting our essential buried utilities. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811.
Patriotism.
It inspires passionate debate. It's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
Stay connected to your clients and new customers using ABC7 Digital Media Services. Our team of professionals provide a wide array of digital services to help you get the most out of your website. We specialize in building and helping you maintain the most effective digital solutions for your business. It's vital that your online presence stands out, so our experts will equip you with the best resources available. Trust ABC7 Digital Media Services to give you the right tools to grow your business.
The Florida Lottery winning numbers are sponsored by Frontier Fios.
Operation Kitten Rescue was a perfect success. Miami-Dade police officers rescued a kitten from a car during a soccer game on Saturday at the Hard Rock Stadium and Sports Complex. And that kitten already has a forever home thanks to the fire rescue team and officer that saved his life. They named him quite appropriately, Lucky. Pretty cute. I don't know how it got up there, but I'm glad he's safe now.
It's a perfect kicker's story, right?
There you go, yeah.
Well, you know, trying to stay comfortable with all this rain coming down, trying to stay dry. Looks like we have to do this again tomorrow. Here's our extended outlook, and 50 to 60% chance of shower activity over the next few days, and then dry air comes into the area just in time for the weekend to give us partly cloudy to mostly sunny skies. Still get a few showers around the area, but for the most part, looks like the upcoming weekend looks to be a little drier than what we're going to experience this work week.
All right, we'll keep those umbrellas handy. Thank you so much, Josh, and thanks for joining us tonight. We'll see you right back here tomorrow. Have a good one.